This is another one of those things that when I hear it, I just want to bang myself in the head with a hammer or maybe a 2x4. They don't work. They just don't work. When I'm working with younger FAs, I mean FAs that are in their first year and just trying to make it, and I'll always try and help them. And they start to tell me what they're supposed to say and they read from a script. By the time they get into the second sentence, I swear I can't hear it anymore. Because I'm putting myself in the shoes of a prospect, and all I'm thinking to myself is, how do I get rid of this bonehead? I can't listen to this. Just the two words put together. Value, okay, good. Proposition. Well, the root word of proposition is propose. So I'm proposing value to you. You've never met me. You know nothing about me. I'm a voice on the phone or someone we're just introduced to. And I'm going to propose value. And you're going to listen to my nonsense. And you're going to go, sounds like everything I've ever heard from the last 99 people. I said, well, what do you do? And I hear some canned BS, and that's really all it is. Guys, they don't work. When you get to be more senior, your value proposition needs to be a conversation that provokes responses from the person you're talking to. And you just have to kind of work your way to it, or you can follow a slightly different track. But first, let's look at this something. How can you propose value against something that can only be subjectively judged in retrospect? Failure is 99% of the time. And then some training person will tell you, well, it's a numbers game, so that means 1 out of 100, you're going to get them. Pass. Anybody that responds to that spew, I'm not sure I want as a client. Because this is what your prospect hears. Blah, 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 blah. They're never really going to engage. They're not going to be interested, or they're just going to tell you, sorry, I've heard too many of this before. Don't believe me? Go ahead and record your best value proposition pitch into your phone. Just record it. Take a number of shots and then play it back and listen to what it sounds like. Would you hire you? No, you wouldn't. It's just nonsensical. If I want to buy a new iPhone, this one's pretty old, so I'm probably due for a new one. But if I'm going to buy a new iPhone, and the new iPhone's $1,000, and I've got experience with the iPhone, and I find an iPhone for $700, sold. Better value. How do I know? I've got experience. It's an objectively derived decision. It is not, oh, gee, this is not an iPhone, it's a Q phone or a Z phone. We'll see how it works out. I don't know how much value. Let's get a little bit creative. What do we want? I'd like to get some information. If I'm the FA, I'd like to get some information and understand if a second call is warranted. And I also want to do it in a way that does something that that prospect isn't expecting because they've heard it so many times. So how would I do that? Well, the first thing I have to think about is it takes about 10 to 12 seconds for someone you've never met or spoken to form a first impression. And those things are impossible, or close to impossible, to change. People don't like to change their first impressions because everything that comes after it is considered based on that impression. Then they got to re-rack the whole thing. So let's get right out of the box and do it the right way. Would you rather give information at the outset or get information at the outset? From my perspective, I want to get information. And I want to put not the person I'm talking to on defense, but I want to put them into an area where they've actually got to think about what their response is. Let's ask like really deep and penetrating questions, such as, Mr. Prospect, this is so-and-so and so-and-so. I have 1 or 2 questions for it. Am I okay to ask? Now I create a little bit of mystery. Yeah, what are they? When you look at your portfolio, at your investments at the end of each month, can you connect what you own to what you're trying to accomplish over the short, medium, and long term? I just want to make money. Well, we've never heard that before. Yes, I understand that. But do you know how much you need to make over what period of time so you can accomplish exactly what you're going to need for the rest of your life? I would say 75% of the time, by the end of that call, we're arranging to bring statements in. When that prospect tells me, no, I don't know the answer to that, my response is, would you like to find out? Yeah. Good, because that's exactly what I do. And that's it. That's it. I identify a problem this person hasn't considered. Maybe they thought about it at one point. They're just trying to make money in the market. They're doing whatever CNBC tells them or somebody else is giving them some guidance. Has nothing to do with what the long-term process looks like. It has to do with what they think this person's willing to buy at the time, which is pretty ineffective. So let's ditch the value proposition and let's figure out how to be respectful of someone's time. At the same time, provoke them into giving you information. It can be the start of a really terrific relationship.